everyone, welcome back to another video. So today we're back to do the next part of the color along I'm currently doing in this beautiful coloring book. This is Maria Trolle's Botanicum. And today we're going to color a geranium on the page I've been coloring with the adorable little bunny on it. I'm going to try to match up some colors to some pictures that I pulled up online. And I'm also going to show you how I go about creating balance all throughout the page and explain why I'm choosing the colors that I am choosing. The playlist for this color along will be linked down in the description box below, and I'll also try to link it in the upper right hand corner. But you're more than welcome to start with the very first video and follow along to the point we are at now. I will be finishing this page. If you check the description box down below, you will find links down there for my Facebook group, my email list, my Etsy shop, and my Patreon if you'd like to support me there. I also now have channel membership. If you would like to find more information out about that, you can click the join button down below this video. So this is the page that we are coloring. In the last video you probably saw the shortened tutorial for these really pretty flowers here. I absolutely love how these turned out. These are my favorite on the whole entire page. And now today we have to color the geranium. So I think that I am going to be a little bit extra creative with these flowers as well, because now that I added a little bit of white on these and made them look like this, I really love that look. And so I think I want to bring that to these geraniums as well. So here's one of the pictures I pulled up. Now geraniums come in many different colors. I specifically wanted pink geraniums, but I'll show you some of the pictures I pulled up. I've got this one here that is pink with a little bit of white in the center and on the outsides. I love this one. And then I have these that are a little bit different with a splotch of that hot pink right there in the center. And then we have these that have a darker pink in them with a little bit of a lighter pink, and then it looks like either a really light pink or a white here towards the outer side of the petals. And then here these look a lot like these do. And then I also grabbed a picture of what a geranium leaf would look like. But my absolute favorite is this flower here. I love how it has the white in the center, and then it looks like it has a lot of this very bright pink, and I really wanted to use my neon pink again on this page, and that's where I wanted to talk to you a little bit about balance and how I'm going to use the colors to create a little bit of balance on the page. For these, I ended up using hot pink and deco pink, and so this is why I wanted to do these flowers in pink, is because I wanted to bring a little bit of the pink from the top of the page down towards the bottom of the page, and I didn't want to create a look where I had the red and the pink up here and then purple and then more purple, because I still over here on the top of the bunny's head have a lot of purple in these flowers. There's a little bit of pink in there, but I think those two little flowers kind of bring all of these colors together. So today for this video, we are going to start with this flower here. I'm looking at this flower and I'm already thinking, how am I going to do this? But I'm going to figure it out. So I've got my picture of the flower here and I've zoomed it in pretty good so that y'all can see it close up. But I did pick my colors, and I think that these colors I chose are a pretty good match, but like I said, I really wanted to use the neon pink again. So I've got the neon pink, and it looks like it matches up to the color in some places here on this flower. And then I have the hot pink, which this one also matches up. And then the lightest pink that I could find was the deco pink. I'm not sure that it's really an exact match, but I'm going to try it anyway and see what I can come up with. And then of course I have my white, and to create this effect that I'm seeing here on these petals, I think that I may need to either grab a gel pen or my Posca, but we're going to start and see what I can come up with. I did right here swatch out these colors. You could see the neon pink here, then the hot pink, then the deco pink. So they're not exact, but they are fairly close. There were no other colors in the Prismacolor set that exactly matched the color in the photo. So towards the inside, we had a lot of white. So I'm just going to lay a little bit of white here towards the inside of the flower. I don't think I have a longer white, so if my hand gets in the way, I apologize in advance. I use white all the time. I really need to just grab another 12-pack of them off of Amazon. So now I'm very lightly going to go ahead and grab my neon pink, and I don't want to go too dark with this, so I'm just very lightly gonna lay this color right above where I laid that white. Now sometimes I don't use the lines in flowers like this. I just sort of ignore them. But I think in certain places I'm going to ignore them, and then in other places I'm going to use them and go along the edges just to add a pop of color. Now, I'm not so much concerned that my flower turns out exactly the same. I really just like to use the images of the real flowers to get an idea of what I'm going to do on my coloring pages. Now I have the hot pink, and I'm going to blend some of this color right into where I laid that hot pink. So we're going to have both of these colors throughout each petal, and hopefully they'll just sort of blend into one another. But that neon pink can get really, really bright. So I'm hoping when I come back and add more of it, or a second layer, that I can get it to pop just that much more. But for now, I'm just placing my colors. I am going to bring this deco pink all the way up to the tips, and then I can just go over it and decide exactly where I want to lay the white Posca. Okay, so now I'm going to come back with a second layer of the neon pink, and I'm just blending some of this in certain places, but I love this color. I'm hoping that it's really going to make these flowers pop and really stand out from the others, but create that balance on the page. So I'm already starting to think that I'm going to have to do something a little bit more here. I don't know if I might need a color that is a little bit darker. Let me go ahead and grab my Posca now that I have my colors in place where I want them. Okay, so I'm not really sure what I want to exactly do here, but I do know that I want to cover the line art at the tips of these flowers, just like I did in the previous video. So I'm just going to come right along the tips here and cover up a lot of this line art, and I'm going to pull it down just a little bit, because remember, with your Posca, you can always put your colored pencils right back over it. I want to be really careful here because I don't want to come into the stems where we've got that bud or the leaves. Oh, but I think I like it. That's so pretty. So the lines are starting to fade now, and it does look really nice. Now we did have some white in the center, so I'm just gonna pop some of this in here, but I'm doing it a little bit differently because I don't want to cover up all those lines. I just want to highlight. Oh, I like that. I think I'm going to bring this down just a little bit more. Oh yeah, that looks better. I think I like that. And I think I might later do a little bit something more with that as well. Okay, so we need to get a couple more layers down here of these colors. And I'm starting to think that I do want to use these lines or the line art on each one of these petals and maybe grab something that's a little bit darker but still bright to make them stand out. Okay, so that was the neon pink. Now I'm adding a little bit more of the hot pink, and I'm waiting for some of that Posca to dry so I can go over it and sort of blend my pencil right into the Posca. So I think I do need to come back with my Posca and go over this again to really whiten this up before I go over it with my colored pencils. I really want to get rid of this line art here so that you can't see it. And I am pulling it down just a little bit because, again, I am going to go back over it with my colored pencils. So I think the Posca should be dry, and I'm going to use my Deco Pink and blend some of these colors together right here on the outer edges. And I'm going right over the Posca, but not all the way to the edge. This is a very light, very pale pink. It's a very pretty pink, but I think it's making a pretty big difference. It's adding just a little bit of contrast to the petals. So now I have my white, and I'm going to go over this with the Prismacolor white and make them even whiter. And doing this really helps to blend that Posca out into your colored pencils. So now I have my neon pink, and I am really going to come in here with a little bit harder pressure and add quite a bit of color into each one of these petals. Oh, look how that brightens it up. It's so pretty. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to do something here that separates some of the petals, because you can't really any longer see where the petals are separated after laying those colors in the white Posca. I grabbed my Process Red, and I'm going to see what I could do with this color. This is what it looks like, and I'm going to use it just to separate some of these petals here on the flower and see if it makes a difference. So I turn my book just a little bit so I can come in right here and just add a little bit of color. Oh yes, that definitely makes a difference right there. Look at all that extra depth and dimension it just created, and it actually separated those petals. Now I'm going to turn my book again so I can get a good angle, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just holding my pencil to the side and going very lightly back and forth just to create that separation right there between this petal and this one. And then I think that this one is laying over this one right here, and then this one right here, and then just one more spot right in here. And then I'm going to use my hot pink just to spread that color out just a little. Actually want to add a little bit of the processed red over some of these lines. I think that processed red actually made quite a bit of difference, and it made the flower pop just a little bit more. But this is a lot different than how I would normally do flowers. And I just really wanted to try something different that I wouldn't normally do. I'm just coming back with my white and blending out some of that Posca in towards the other pinks, and I think that is super pretty. That's totally way different than I think I've ever done a flower before, but I like it. Okay y'all, so I think that this flower needs some stickles. I grabbed hibiscus, and I'm gonna start by adding just a little bit here in the center right there over the white, and then I think I just want to spread some on the outer edges as well. And this will add just a little bit more depth to our flower. I'm just kind of making lines and spreading them out. But oh my goodness, I love it. That is so pretty. So now we need to do the leaf that goes with the flower. And so I need to pick some greens for that. So I pulled up the picture I had for the geranium leaves, and I grabbed some colors. These are some of the greens that I used on some of the other leaves throughout the page, but I'm not sure if I actually used these exact colors together because I used different greens on these leaves here than I did on these. So I just grabbed some of the colors I had laying off to the side that I already used and matched them up to these leaves, and we're going to see what I can come up with. You could see here in the very skinny part of the leaf and on the stems that there's a very pale green. And so I thought that looked a lot like the chartreuse, but I wanted to use the chartreuse because I wanted to brighten it up a lot more. And then the apple green looks like a pretty good match to the rest of the leaf. And then I'm only using the dark green just to add a little bit of depth and dimension where the lines are on the leaves. The first color I'm going to use is the chartreuse, and this is just going to act as a first layer. I'm going to try to color these in fairly quickly. Now I have the apple green. I'm blending it right into the chartreuse. I think down in here I'm going to leave that alone because I think I want a pop right there on that part of the leaf. And then here I want it a little bit darker. Now I'm going to add a second layer of my chartreuse. And I'm also laying it everywhere where I added that apple green and blending the two colors into one another. So yeah, these are pretty easy and pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of dark green in here. Oh yeah, that makes a huge difference. Look at that. I'm just using this to get rid of a little bit of that line art. And of course I am going to come back and blend another color right into it. Just trying to use this color to create a separation in all of these different sections here. Now I have my apple green again, and I'm blending some of this color right into that dark green and the chartreuse in some places. But I think on this leaf that the dark green made a huge difference. But I do need to come back and blend some of this color out just a little bit. I'm just trying to get rid of some of the line art here. I'm adding a little bit more more of the apple green just to blend those colors in really good. But I'm trying to stay out of anywhere where I laid that chartreuse because I really want that pop in every single section of this leaf. And then one last layer of the chartreuse just to bring everything together. And then we just need to color the little buds. Oh, and the stems. Okay, so this picture had a couple little buds on it, and it looks like they're partly open, so I'm assuming that the buds are just going to be green because they are completely closed. So we are going to do that. I do want to use a lot of the chartreuse in the center. Let me see if I could use just the chartreuse and the dark green, and we'll see what happens here. Maybe I'll blend it together with the apple green. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just trying all kinds of different things here today. I don't usually do this. I usually use my colors in order, but it's fun to try new things with your colored pencils. I want to make sure I get a lot of that chartreuse in here before I come back with the apple green, and then I can use a little bit of the apple green and just pull the colors together. Oh wow, look at the difference that third color made. They're so pretty. I love that pop of chartreuse. So let's do the same thing here and add a little bit of the apple green. I think I need a little bit more dark green on this one, and then we'll finish it off with the chartreuse and pull everything together. And then we just need to do the stems of the flower here, so I'm going to add a pop of chartreuse right in the center of those, and then I'm going to grab my darkest color, dark green, and just line the outsides and do these just like you probably saw in my previous video. And then I'll just blend the colors together with the chartreuse. I just really wanted these just a little bit brighter. Okay, so our flower's done, and I absolutely love this one. I don't know, I can't tell which one is my favorite, but I know it's out of either this one or these here. And this video has taken me quite a long time. I was thinking that maybe possibly for this one I would be able to fit it all in one video, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I am going to color this one, play some music in the background, and enjoy myself. And I will add that to another video so y'all can finish it right along with me. And I will add some commentary, a little bit of instruction, and make it sort of a shortened tutorial like I have for the other flowers. And again, I will have the playlist down in the description box below and also linked in the upper right hand corner. So I think for the little ladybug here and the butterfly here, I'm going to go ahead and add those in to the next video so you can see how I color those. And then the video after that one, we are going to do a background. I've not decided yet what I'm going to do for a background. I have a little bit of an idea, but I'm not completely set on it. But if y'all enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn your bell notifications on so that you get notified when I post the next part of this color along. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Happy coloring. Bye.